Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use.
Our oceans are facing a serious threat. This threat is plastic pollution. Every year, millions of tons of plastic end up in our seas. This plastic doesn't just disappear, it breaks down into smaller pieces, harming marine life and ecosystems. The problem is especially bad in Asia. Many countries in Asia struggle with waste management. This means plastic often ends up in rivers and eventually the ocean. The impact on marine life is devastating. India is one of the largest plastic polluters in the world. This is partly due to its large population and rapid industrial growth. However, India is also taking steps to address the problem. The Indian government has implemented policies to reduce plastic use. There are also many local initiatives to clean up coastlines and educate people about the dangers of plastic pollution. Education is key to creating lasting change. Plastic pollution has a direct impact on India's fishing industry. Fishermen are finding it harder to make a living. Plastic waste is clogging fishing nets and damaging boats. This reduces the amount of fish they can catch. Ghost nets are a major problem. These are fishing nets that have been lost or abandoned at sea. They can drift for years, trapping and killing marine animals. The Gulf of Mannar and Palk Strait are important fishing areas in India. These areas are now heavily polluted with plastic. This is harming fish populations and the livelihoods of fishermen. Many fishermen are struggling to survive. They are forced to fish for longer hours and travel further distances to find clean waters. This puts a strain on their families and communities. Communities are coming together to find solutions and combat plastic pollution. Microplastics are tiny pieces of plastic less than 5 millimeters in size. They come from larger plastic items that break down in the environment. These tiny particles are a major concern. Marine animals often mistake microplastics for food. This can block their digestive systems and lead to starvation. Microplastics also absorb harmful chemicals from the water. When fish consume these contaminated particles, the toxins can accumulate in their bodies. This can eventually reach humans through the food chain. Studies have shown that microplastics are present in seafood consumed by humans. The long-term health effects of this are still unknown. However, it is clear that microplastics pose a significant threat to both marine life and human health. Efforts are being made to understand and mitigate this growing problem. Section 4. Turning the tide fighting plastic pollution. There is growing awareness about the problem of plastic pollution in India. Both the government and individuals are taking action. The Indian government has pledged to phase out single-use plastic by 2022. Many states have already banned plastic bags. There are also initiatives to promote reusable bags and encourage people to reduce their plastic consumption. Local communities are playing a vital role. Many coastal communities have organized beach cleanup drives. Fishermen are also involved in collecting plastic waste from the sea. These efforts are starting to make a difference. However, there is still a long way to go. More needs to be done to address the root causes of plastic pollution. Innovative solutions and startups are emerging to tackle this crisis. Section 5. A long way to go. The future of India's waters. Plastic problem with no easy solutions. However, by working together, we can make a difference. Reducing plastic consumption is crucial. We can all do our part by choosing reusable alternatives to single-use plastics. The government stricter regulations on plastic production and waste management. Industries must take responsibility for the plastic they produce. They need to invest in more sustainable alternatives. Education and essential. People need to understand the impact of plastic pollution on marine life, human health, and the economy. The future of India's fishing industry depends on the health of our oceans. By addressing the problem of plastic, we can protect our oceans, livelihoods, and the planet for future generations. Together, we can ensure a sustainable future for India's waters. The fight against plastic pollution is a global effort. Countries around the world are implementing policies to reduce plastic waste. International cooperation is essential to tackle this issue. By sharing knowledge and resources, we can develop effective solutions. The future of our planet depends on our actions today. Together, we can create a cleaner, healthier environment for all.